Welcome everybody, and today we're taking a look at the fourth film in the Tales of the Wild West Collection #2 box set from Imprint Films, and it is 1972's The Revengers. So this is directed by Daniel Mann, who also did Willard, which was a film I was trying to remember in one of my more recent reviews when talking about the film Ben, which was a sequel to Willard. So yeah, this is a western that clocks in at 108 minutes long. Stars the likes of William Holden, who I've seen in 19 other films. Favourites from him would be the likes of Sunset Boulevard, The Towering Inferno, and The Wild Bunch. Also stars Ernest Borgnine, who I've seen in 27 other films. He was also in The Wild Bunch, as well as Johnny Guitar, Marty, Bad Day at Black Rock, The Poseidon Adventure, and The Mob. Plus, he was also in Willard. Yeah, not the first time he's been with the director Daniel Mann. Also stars Woody Strode, who was in The Professionals, which is a film we talked about in the prior Wild West box set. You've also got Susan Hayward, who was in Rawhide, and finally Roger Hanine, who was in Tony Arzenta. So, Civil War hero John Benedict has finally returned home to his family in Colorado and is ready for the quiet life. When his wife and children are killed by what appears to be a group of Comancheros, John vows to hunt down the killers at any cost. He travels to a Mexican prison camp, purchasing the freedom of 6 men in exchange for the help to get that revenge. So, this has been called an unofficial Wild Bunch 2, which certainly holds some water, as both Holden and Borgenheim were obviously in the Wild Bunch, and this is just as violent and gritty, but it's also not as good. It's just not as well directed as that Wild Bunch film, which obviously was directed by Sam Peckinpah, who is definitely a better director than Daniel Mann. But that said, this is still an overall effective and engaging film. It has a great cast, really rather well executed action, especially towards the end where there's this big battle scene and they plant a load of dynamite in the ground because they have no more powder for their cannons, so they use the dynamite and shoot it to create the effective explosions that they need. It's also got a really rather good score. It is well shot. The violence is really impactful, especially when it comes to the initial act of violence that kicks this film off. You don't actually see it happen. You just see the after effects, and and that's impactful in its own right. But then there's also plenty of blood squibs and when there was plenty of shooting going on. There's also some decent thematic weight, and the production is overall solid. So yeah, this is definitely my favourite of the four that we've the three that we've looked at. Obviously, I've already reviewed 5 Card Stud in a prior release from Vinegar Syndrome, but of the three that I've looked at so far now out of this box set, this is definitely my favourite. No, it's not as grounded as Will Penny, but there's definitely more action to entertain with this one, and yeah, something big. Although not the worst Western comedy I've ever seen, it certainly was underwhelming in comparison to Will Penny, and yeah, still now ranks as my least favourite of the films in this box set so far. So yeah, this gets a 4 out of 5, and yeah, really, really well executed effort. Got a shot there of our main protagonists in the behind the disc itself. So, yeah, there you got Ernest Borgnine there, who's arguably the comic relief, I guess you could say, in certain regards. But he's also someone that you can't really get behind either because he's not trustworthy. He's an alcoholic a lot of the times, and yeah, isn't particularly a good person for our lead character. But that said, this has had a 1080p high definition presentation. It's in 235:1 aspect ratio, LPCM 2.0 mono audio, English language soundtrack with optional English subtitles for the deaf and hard of hearing. And in terms of extras, you've got William Holden and the West, video essay by film historian C. Courtney Joyner from 2026, image gallery, and a theatrical trailer as well. So not a huge amount of extras there, but the film itself is more than worth the purchase of this box set, to be honest, because to go alongside Will Penny, both films that are given 4 out of 5. Yeah, makes this a overall a decent box set, even though it is a little bit hampered by the fact that I've already had 5 Card Stud in a prior release. But if I hadn't, then this box set would overall be shaping up to be a pretty good one, because I gave 5 Card Stud a 3.5 out of 5. Obviously, Will Penny and this have gotten 4 out of 5. And even though Something Big is by no means a great film, and certainly the low point of this box set, it's still got a 3 out of 5. So in general, I think this is overall somewhat matching the first box set, although granted, there were at least 2 films in that are better than the other films in that box set and all of the ones that I've seen so far in this. But still, overall, shaping up to be a good box set so far. So yeah, we've got one final film left in this box set to look at, which is Posse, directed by and starring Kirk Douglas. But nonetheless, thank you for watching. If you've seen The Revengers before, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.